Hi there and welcome to a new episode of Behind the Lens, and I'm Paul, and in today's episode I am going to provide you with my review of the DJI Pocket 2, the much anticipated successor of the original Pocket. And I'm just gonna go over the list of in this video, and you'll see the bracketing below so you can see where it is. It's video capabilities, some of the side menus, hyperlapses, time lapses, photography, live streaming, audio, and a whole bunch more. But basically on the end of this video you should have a pretty good idea of what my experiences were, what I really liked and what I really didn't like. So one of the things first before we start, I bought the Osmo Pocket 1, the original Osmo. I bought it, I think, about 9 months ago, and I immediately fell in love with it. Obviously, it came with some flaws, specifically when it comes to audio recording, connecting to the Mimo app. But other than that, it was a perfect tool to me. But then number 2 came out, this little fella. And one of the things that I really like is that DJI really listened to its customer feedback. So I think one of the bigger criticism points on the Pocket 1 was the field of view. It was relatively narrow. The DJI Pocket 2 has done a much better job with the 20mm lens on it, which is much wider. In addition, this little wide-angle lens supplied in the Creator Combo, which I bought, really makes it a very wide field of view. You see an example here popping up. I basically use this gimbal camera, because that's what it is, to basically document my life, and when I'm outside doing a photography or whatever, I like to film with it. That's where I use it for. So specifically designed as a film camera for those like me who do like kind of vlogging, document your life, but it can also be used for filmmakers. Let's go back to all the basics. So I bought the Creator Combo. The first thing that I really liked was the case that DJI developed. As you can see, there's place here for your phone adapters over here, as well as the little lens you get supplied. And they didn't close it down here, so it could fit with the all-you-can-do handle, which really is what makes this little thing. Is if you buy this separately, this is €100. So this is one of the things that you really should buy, is the Creator Combo, because you get the entire experience. With this attached, all of a sudden the Pocket 2 isn't simply good, it becomes fantastic, because you can also hook your wireless audio, which is also in the Creator Combo. So if you really look at that, great. Also, one thing the all-you-can-do handle comes with here is the tripod mount, so desperately missing in the DJI Pocket 1. So the audio, they basically fixed the Wi-Fi and audio using simultaneously, no problem, that's fixed as well. And they came out with the tripod mount, 3/4 I think it is. It's fantastic. So from a technical design perspective, things are looking good. Video recording, that has 4K 2.7 and 1080 HD modes. The 4K you can do maximum in a 60 frames per second, and you see a little on my previous 2 photography episodes, you'll see me walking outdoors with the audio there, so you can pretty much have a look. But I think it's really fantastic, and one of the great things is, specifically if you're more into cinematic filming, the 60 frames per second does allow you to slow it down in editing to 30 frames, where you get that nice smooth kind of film footage feel that you want to. Additionally, it allows you also to shoot with a Cine D-like profile, which is very, very color flat, and it allows you afterwards to do some color grading if you're really into that. I'm not, but if you're into that, that's great. In terms of the stabilization here as well, if I compare this with the Pocket 1, of course when you're walking like this you still have some jitters, but it's not as visible as in the Pocket 1. So I think that is something that DJI listened to, and I think maybe with the next firmware upgrade it will only get better. Auto tracking, and that works okay for me. That's, for me, not the most important thing, but I can imagine if somebody is maybe filming some cycling or kids playing whatever, or your dog, yeah, it's nice that it's tracking. It works okay. Yeah, I'm expecting for the next firmware upgrade that there might be some adjustments in that as well. Now, I just briefly mentioned this all you can do or all in one handle. I never know how to call it. It comes from the Creator Combo, and with this comes this little transmitter. So it means that this little part, the real magic in terms of usability and user friendliness, is the all you can do handle and this little audio transmitter, and that makes it pretty awesome once you go filming. It automatically connects. The battery life on the transmitter is quite impressive. It's quite a number of hours you can get out of it. The lens quality with the wide view is also pretty good. So already set, if you put the wide angle lens on it, it detects it automatically. You'll see it on your screen, which is pretty good. When it comes to hyperlapsing and motion lapse, that's where I'm pretty much into. Yeah, hyperlapse you can do up to 30 times speed, which is pretty a lot. You can do that in 4K, 2.7 and 1080 HD, which is awesome. For the time lapse, yeah, I'm looking at my paper because I want to come across structure. For the time lapse, however, I think they've really done something nice here. You have a fixed angle, so if you point it that way, it just keeps on there. You have a motion lapse now where you can choose left to right or right to left. And of course you can still customize it, and I personally like it. Yeah, the one thing I thought that the DJI Pocket 1 was a bit better on, that you could have unlimited recording. The Pocket 2 caps it at 5 hours, which is still long. Yeah, but if you really put it into that, that is about half an hour of time lapse. So if you're on a building project or something, that is maybe a consideration if you're planning on buying this. Then there's slow motion. You can slow it down ×4 on 1080, 1080. I don't know what it is with 1080 today. I can't say it. In 1080 or 8 times slowing down. Now, I'm not a big fan of slow motions, but if you shoot some B-roll, that can definitely play a part. Personally, I've heard quite a bit of criticism on the 8 times slow motion, so that's at 240 frames per second. In this case, that people say, oh, it's not nice. Specifically, the bigger YouTubers, yeah, they are professionals. I can live with it. I don't use it that much anyways, but if you want to have the option, it works, and maybe it gets upgraded with the next firmware. And then we go into the part where I did an episode on, was the photography. I personally think that the photography, just like on the Osmo Pocket 1, it's okay. Yes, they have the 16 MB sensor, and then it has a 64 MB capability. That all sounds great, but I think that the average smartphone takes about the same pictures or better. So for photography, I didn't buy it. I will never use it for photography, but if you would expect to use it for photography, yeah, you might end up disappointing because it's not one of those. So for photography, I don't hold it against DJI. Probably they can do it with another firmware update, but who really cares? I don't care about it. Now, now to the accessories of the DJI Pocket 1. My biggest fear was that DJI, in all its wisdom, would come out with a completely new line of accessories. Yeah, and thank God it didn't. The extension rod, which for me was very important, works flawlessly on the Pocket 2, so that's great. The charging case of the Pocket 1 sadly doesn't, because the form factor here of the Pocket 2, it's slightly bigger. It's not by much, but it's slightly bigger. So unfortunately, that doesn't work. But since you can charge this also via normal cable, I'm not going to be too fussed about it. The next part is streaming. This is a new feature that wasn't available for the DJI Pocket 1. On the Pocket 2, it's been added to the Mimo app. Yeah, and it basically offers you the experience to go either on YouTube, Facebook, or via RTMP. That is a new feature. I've tested it in a few episodes here. Regardless, Facebook on your normal landing page, it works great. For Facebook pages, I haven't been able to do it, not via RTMP. The same goes for YouTube. There seems to be some privacy issue. I've heard from somebody who commented that on GoPro, the GoPro 9 seems to have a streaming capability as well, and they bump into similar challenges when it comes to YouTube or getting onto Facebook pages, Twitch, you name it. Unfortunately, it isn't working, and that's pretty much to do with maybe some of the agreements DJI has with YouTube or whatever. I honestly don't know. I hope in the next firmware they're going to upgrade it, because there's quite a bit of people who really would use this camera for their Zoom calls, to set up in Microsoft Teams, to stream into Twitch, you name it, Reddit. It's all come there, but I haven't been able to make it work. So with that, this was a quick review. At least it says here now 12 minutes, but after editing it's a lot shorter. I hope you enjoy this. Stay healthy, stay safe, ask questions. Hope to see you next time.